Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, Flower Fairy here. And in today's pick a card reading, we're going to be looking at who you were in your past life. So we're going to be looking at what type of person you were, maybe what type of career you had, basically any information that Spirit wants to give us today about who you were in this past life. So I've laid out three separate piles of cards here. In pile number one, we have the Hocus Pocus Tarot with this beautiful howlite crystal. In pile number two, we have the Crystal Visions Tarot with this lovely clear quartz point. And in pile number three, we have the Muse Tarot with this rhodonite pyramid. I'll hold that up for you. So take a minute and look at the piles and pick out which one is speaking to you today, which one is calling you the most. And then you can scroll down to the description box below where I have timestamps listed for each pile. And you can then click on your timestamp and you will be directly forwarded to your reading. So let's get into it. Hi, pile one. So you chose the Hocus Pocus Tarot with this beautiful howlite crystal. I'm going to place it right here. And I'm going to start off by just clearing the energies here for us. Okay, pile one. So let's take a look at your tarot cards here to see what information Spirit wants to give us today about who you were in this past life. So Spirit, who was pile one in their past life? Who was pile one in their past life, Spirit? And what were they like? Okay, so we have the Hermit card here in reverse. We also have the Justice card here in reverse. We have the Hierophant card in reverse. Who was pile one in their past life, Spirit? And what were they like? And we have the King of Lightning here in reverse. So this is interesting, pile number one. First of all, we have three major arcana cards here, and they're all in reverse. So starting off with the Hermit card in reverse, I think in your past life, pile number one, you were someone who was very outgoing, someone who was constantly sort of extroverted and I think you didn't take much time to really go within or meditate or spend time by yourself. You know, you were sort of always out there, always focusing on the external and not so much the internal side of yourself. So you were out, you know, doing things and being with people and, you know, enjoying your life, but you didn't really take that time to go within and really get in touch with your spiritual side or your inner thoughts, inner feelings, things like that. So that's what I'm seeing there. And then with the Justice card in reverse, I see that, you know, this sort of being extroverted and focused on the external all the time may have caused this lack of balance in your life. So you were feeling sort of unbalanced, but I don't think you really knew how to fix it in that lifetime. I think, you know, you were realizing that your life was unbalanced, but you weren't sure why or how to fix it. And so the energy here is just very really the best way to put it is you know, you were just very focused, like I said, on the external world and not on your internal self. And so it caused this imbalance here within you. And then with the Hierophant in reverse, that's telling me here that, you know, you were also very free-spirited. You know, you didn't really like traditions and structure and rules and regulations, things like that. You were just sort of a free spirit, and you had your own way of doing things. You had your own opinions and views on things, and you didn't really care what the tradition was or what the structured society felt or believed or did. You know, you kind of did your own thing. So I see you being very free-spirited here in your past life. And then with the King of Lightning in reverse here, that's the King of Swords in traditional tarot. And I see that, you know, you also in this past life were, how do I say this? I think maybe you were lacking a little bit of external strength in terms of, you know, enforcing your will and sort of being in control of a situation. So I think, you know, you felt maybe a lack of strength, or you exhibited a lack of strength. You know, there was some sort of disconnect, I guess, there. And, you know, it might be because you were so focused on the external world, you know, other people and things that you were doing and things like that, and not really taking the time to be introspective and to really go within. And that made you feel, you know, this lack of balance and also this lack of strength and lack of power and lack of will here. So that's what I'm getting here in terms of your past life. You know, I think you probably worked for somebody else, you know, in some type of position that wasn't very structured, you know. So you may have been like, you know, working for some type of like maybe small business, or, you know, you may have had your own business, you know, being that you were very free-spirited. But, you know, I just see this, you being sort of this free spirit and not really going by the rules, but just sort of having your own rules for things. So that's what I'm getting here. So I'm going to let's get into your oracle cards here to get some more information. So Spirit, Who was pile 1 in their past life and what were they like? Okay. So, who was pile 1 spirit in their past life? Thank you, Spirit. So we have the Lion card here, and it says time to act. So I think pile 1 in your past life, like I said, you were sort of lacking this balance, and you were just feeling this lack of, like I said, willpower, I guess, or lack of, motivation maybe. And so I think this card is saying here, in your past life, you really wanted to act on things, but like I said, you weren't really able to a lot of the time. And so this card is really confirming that here, that you needed to act. It was time to act, but you weren't really able to do that so well in this past life because of this imbalance here. So let me get another card for you here. So Spirit, what was pile 1 like in their past life? And who were they in their past life, Spirit? Who is pile 1 in their past life? Who was pile 1 in their past life, Spirit? Who is pile 1 in their past life? Okay, so we have this card here, and it says, Star Family, you're part of a team of souls. Call in support. And that card shows me here, pile 1, that, again, you were sort of feeling a lack of support and a lack of balance in your past life. And so, you were part of this team of souls. You had this team around you, but you didn't call on them. You didn't go within to really take the time to ask for their support and look for their support. And that's really what this card is talking about here. Is that there was this team all around you. They're sort of represented here, if you can see closely. There was people, your team of souls was all around you in this past lifetime. And this is you down here. And you weren't, taking that time to, like I said, meditate or go within. So you weren't able to see them and to call on them when you were feeling this lack of balance in your life. And so that's really sort of just supports the rest of the reading here. So now I want to get one more card for you here from this animal deck. So Spirit, who was pile 1 in their past life? Who is pile 1 in their past life, Spirit? And what were they like? Who is pile 1? Thank you, Spirit. So you actually got 2 cards here. The first card you got is the Whale, and it says tenderness. Show compassion and forgive what needs to be forgiven. And you also receive the L card, and it says sight. Detach your emotions from situations that you cannot control. So I see here in your past life that there was a need for tenderness, as well. There was a need to show compassion for others and, forgive others maybe when they wronged you. And you were sort of learning that lesson in your past life about tenderness, about compassion. And, so I think in this lifetime, you're probably, aware of that, and you're more compassionate and more tender towards others, because that was, a lesson that you were learning in your past lifetime. So that's really beautiful energy here. And then with the Owl card, it's talking about really taking a bird's eye view of things and detaching yourself from things that you can't control, and sort of just letting it be. And so I think your soul, in this last lifetime, was learning how to do that, to detach from maybe people or situations or things that were no longer serving you and that you weren't able to control. And so this was part of who you were in this past life, is learning this sight. You have this sight of being able to see, this is no longer serving me, so I need to cut this off. I need to detach myself from this person or this situation. So I think, that was a lesson that you were learning in your past life, and you were able to do that. So that's really wonderful as well, pile number 1. So that concludes your reading here. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a big thumbs up down below. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, so that you'll always be notified when I upload a new video. And I thank you guys for joining me here today, and I will see you next time. Bye. Hi, pile number 2. So you chose the Crystal Visions Tarot with this clear quartz point. I'm going to place it right here, and I'm just going to clear the energies here before we start. Beautiful. Okay, so let's get into your tarot cards here, pile number 2. So Spirit, who was pile 2 in their past life? Who were they in their past life? And what were they like? Who was pile 2 in their past life, Spirit? And what were they like? Who is pile 2 in their past life, and what were they like? Thank you, Spirit. So we have the 9 of Pentacles. Who was pile 2 in their past life, Spirit? Who was pile 2 in their past life, and what were they like? Thank you. We also have the 8 of Pentacles in reverse. Who was pile 2 in their past life, Spirit? Actually, I'm gonna reverse that because it fell on the floor, so I'm not sure which direction it should be in. So I'm gonna keep it upright. So who was pile 2 in a past life, Spirit? Thank you. Okay, we have the World card in reverse. Who is pile 2 in a past life, Spirit? Who is pile 2 in their past life, and what were they like? Who is pile 2 in their past life, and what were they like? Okay, and we have the 6 of Cups card here. Okay, so starting here with the 9 of Pentacles card, I'm seeing here that in your past life, pile number 2, you were very successful. You sort of had everything that you need. You can see in this card, this woman is surrounded by money. She's surrounded by animals here, which, you know, represents support, you know, community, people. And, you know, she had water just flowing around her and abundance, you know, just all around her. And so I see you being this very successful person in your past life. You may have been a businesswoman or a businessman, you know, somehow involved in finance, you know, in the financial field, but, you know, you may not have been. You could have, you know, done something where you were very successful financially. And I see that here also with the 8 of Pentacles card, because you were also very skilled in a trade or something that you were doing. You could have even been involved in like the garment industry or tailor work, or, you know, something involved with making things, making clothing maybe, or, you know, there's this woman here on the card with this spinning wheel, and she's spinning this thread and sort of making this material here. So you could have been in some sort of trade where you had to be skilled in a craft, you know, such as sewing or tapestry or something like that. And, you know, you were very good at what you did, and people really looked up to you and appreciated and admired this skill or this craft that you had. And I think that's what really brought you this material gain that I see here. So that's really wonderful, pile number 2. And then with the World card in reverse here, I see that in this past life, even though you had success and you had the support of those around you and community, there was this feeling of not being complete. You know, there was an aspect of your life that you felt wasn't complete, you know, and it may have to do with this next card here, which is the 6 of Cups, which is sort of a longing for usually someone from the past. So, you know, there may have been a lack in your life in terms of emotions. Now this could be a friendship, this could be a love relationship. But, I see you feeling just this lack of completion in some area of your life. And, it may have to do with you longing for someone from a past life or from your past that you weren't with in this past life. But you sort of, you're looking to find them, it almost looks like, and once you do, you two connect and really form this strong bond here, and also from this card, I see, that you may have been a mother, to a young girl. As you see on this card, there's this woman here who's holding out this wand, it looks like, and, they're connecting their hands through this wand. And so I see that, you may have been a mother or a parent, depending on what gender you identify with. You could have been a father as well if you're male. But, I see this sort of parental energy here, or, motherly or fatherly energy. So you may have been a parent as well in this past life. So that's what I'm getting here for your tarot cards. And let's get into your oracle cards here. So, Spirit, who was piled to in their past life? Who was piled to in their past life, and what were they like? Thank you, Spirit. So we have this carriage card here, and it says a journey, either physical or mental. So I'm seeing here, in your past life, you may have been alive during the time when carriages were used for transportation. We see here this picture of this carriage, and it really looks like you were living during the time when carriages were used to transport people to different places before, vehicles were in existence. So that's really interesting, pile number 2. And then I see that, in this past life, you traveled somewhere, either physically, you moved maybe from one place to another, or, it could have been a mental journey. You may have done some work, on your inner self and really made a mental journey in terms of your path and your direction in life. So like I said, you could have either physically traveled somewhere and made a move in this past life, or it could have been just an emotional and mental journey. But I see this journey here in your past life. Okay, so let me get some more information here for you. So, Spirit, who was piled to in their past life, and what were they like? Thank you. So we have, who was piled to in their past life, Spirit? Who was piled to in their past life, Spirit, and what were they like? Who is piled to in their past life, Spirit, and what were they like? Okay, so we have this card here, and it says, lifting the veil, questioning everything. Anything unaligned must go. So I see here, pile 2, that in your past life, you were someone who could really see below the surface, and you were questioning everything in your life. And that may be why you know, you made this journey either physically or mentally because, you know, you realized that you no longer fit in the place that you were living in. It no longer aligned with you. And so you had to flee that place. You had to leave that place because you no longer felt needed there. You no longer felt like that was part of your purpose or where you should be. So you made that journey. Or it could have been mental, you know, you felt like your life wasn't going the way you wanted it to go and you needed to change that. So, you know, I just see this ability of you to sort of go beneath the surface and really lift that veil and question things and, you know, get rid of things that no longer aligned with you. And, you know, that also could be part of why you felt this this lack of completion, you know, or this longing here, because you really wanted to figure out what no longer aligned with you and what you needed to get rid of. So that's a really interesting energy that you had here in your past life, pile number 2. So let me get one more card for you here. So Spirit, who was pile 2 in their past life? Thank you. And we have the Raven card here. And it says, wise woman, a change is coming. And that's beautiful, pile number 2. And it really goes along perfectly with this card right here, because in this past life, you were very wise and you were able to see things that others were not able to see. Like I said before, you know, with this lifting the veil card, you were really intuitive and you were really able to go beneath the surface and really figure out what was working for you and what was not. And, you know, you were very wise and, like I said, very intuitive. You may have even been like a psychic or a spiritual worker or something like that. You know, there, like I've said before, there was this craft or this skill that you had that really brought you success and money in this past life, you know. And I see with this Raven card here, you were sort of like a messenger, you know, for the spirit world and for the afterlife. So you may very well have been a psychic or even like maybe a psychiatrist or, you know, something to do with spirit work, a healer, you know, an energy worker, something of that sort. I'm getting strongly here. So, you know, I feel like you had this spiritual calling in your past life, and you were very tuned in to the spirits and to the afterlife. And I think that helped you in your own life, but I think it also helped other people around you as well. And that's really what brought you the success and the financial abundance that you had in this past life. So that's really wonderful, pile number 2. So I'm going to leave it there. I hope you enjoyed your reading. If you did, please give me a big thumbs up down below. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, so that you'll always be notified when I upload a new video. And otherwise, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Hi, pile number 3. So you chose the Muse Tarot deck with this rhodonite pyramid here. I'm going to place it right here. And I just want to clear the energies here before we get started. Beautiful. So let's get into your tarot cards here. So Spirit, who was pile 3 in their past life and what were they like? Who was pile 3 in their past life? Thank you, Spirit. And we have the Sun card here. Beautiful energy. Who is pile 3, Spirit, in their past life? And what were they like? Who was pile 3, Spirit, in their past life? Who was pile 3? Thank you, Spirit. So we have the 7 of Voices here, and we have the Hermit here. And we also have the 2 of Emotions here. Lovely energies. So pile number 3, what I'm seeing here is that in your past life, you were someone who was very happy a lot of the time, very optimistic. With the Sun card here, there's a picture of this woman and she's sitting in the lotus position and she's meditating. And there's, this beautiful sun above her. And so I think you really took the time in this past life to do some inner work, to do some meditation. And this really brought a beautiful energy to your being and to your life and really made you grateful for everything that you had, your blessings, the beauty around you. You had, success, you had love, you had joy all around you. And you were really grateful for that and thankful for that. And, you just had this energy about you where people really wanted to be around you. They loved being with you. And you just had this joy and this passion for life. And so it's really a beautiful energy here, pile number 3. So I'm also seeing with the 7 of Voices card, that's the 7 of Sword cards. And I think, there was something in this past life that you were working towards, but there was sort of unstable effort there. I think there's this picture of this woman and she has this fox face, and she's sort of looking out, looking all around her. And, I think you had like your eye on this dream or this prize, this thing that you wanted or thing you wanted to do. But I don't see that, you necessarily achieved that or got that, but there's, sort of this effort towards it. So maybe you were working on something, this may have been a career or a job that you had in this past life. And, you were sort of working at it, but you didn't fully achieve it or fully feel victorious in it. And so there's just this energy of wanting this and working towards it, but not really being fully, not really fully achieving it. Pile number 3 is the best way I can say it. And then with the Hermit card here, I see that, you were very introspective, like I saw before with this Sun card. You did a lot of meditation, and you really took the time, I think, in this past life to spend time by yourself and really go within and really figure out who you were as a person and what you wanted. There's this picture of this woman on this card, and she's like in the middle of this desert, it looks like. And, there's the sun all around her, just shining within her. And she's all by herself. She's just thinking about life and about maybe her goals and her dreams. And I see you really doing that a lot in your past life, being very introspective and very wise. People may have come to you for advice. People may have sought you out for advice. You may have been like a teacher, or you may have been a spiritual guide. You may have been a psychologist, something where you were giving people advice because you were so wise and you were so in touch with your inner self, and you were able to give that knowledge, I think, to other people. And I think other people may have sought you out for that type of knowledge. So I really see you being, sort of someone that may have helped people in a past life. And then with the Two of Emotions card, that's the Two of Cups card. I see that you also had a very strong love partnership or relationship in this past life. You were with someone who made you really feel complete. And it looks like it may have been a soulmate relationship or partnership here. And you two were just very much in love and very much having fun and enjoying each other, enjoying spending time together. And you felt very connected to this person. I see here, on this card, there's these two figures, and they're intertwined, and they're just connected on every level, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, physically. So you really felt this connection with this person in your past life. So that's a really beautiful energy as well, pile number 3. So let's get into your oracle here to see what other information we can get. Okay, so you have the dog card here, and it says protection from a powerful friend. That's beautiful, pile number 3. And it shows me here that you had protection in this past life from a friend. And, this may be this person that you were in this love relationship with, or it may not have been. It may have just been, a close friend or a family member, but there was someone in your life who was very protective over you in this past life. And, this also could have been a dog. It could have been an animal as well. The dog is a very loyal, protective animal. And so, this may have been a dog, or it may have been a person, a human, but there was some energy, some presence in your life that really cared for you and was very loyal to you and very protective of you. And that's, an energy that you're bringing into this lifetime right now. So that's beautiful, pile number 3. So I'm going to get another card here for you. So Spirit, who was pile 3 in their past life? And what were they like? Who was pile 3 in their past life, Spirit? Who was pile 3 in their past life? Who was pile 3 in their past life? Okay, so we have this card right here, and it says, "You're not for everyone. Embrace your weirdness. Face your true north." Beautiful. So I'm seeing here, pile number 3, in your past life, like this card says, you may not have been for everyone. You know, you, I think, were someone who was different. You were very, like I said, very wise, very introspective. So I think you spent a lot of time by yourself in this past life, going within, doing the work, doing the shadow work, doing work on healing and energy work. And I think, you know, a lot of people may not have understood that and may not have been like that. And so you were sort of seen as different or special, or weird, you know, even to some people. And so I think you had, you know, this close group, you know, this partner here that understood you, that knew you very well, but you may have only had like a few friends, you know, and a few people around you that really understood you and that got you. And I think the rest of, you know, the world or society may have seen you as just, you know, different in some way because of this wisdom and this introspective side that you had, this need to spend time alone, this need to go within, which is really beautiful energy. And, you know, I think on this card, we see this woman and she's sort of standing at the edge of this cliff here and opening her arms up to the universe. And there's not really anyone around her, but you see these two shadows up here, which, you know, looks to me like the afterlife. And so the afterlife, you know, you were able to connect with very easily, you know, the spirit world, and they connected with you, you know, but, you know, you had, it's almost like you had an easier time connecting with the spirit world than you did connecting with people in the 3D, you know, people in the physical world. So you really had this ability to connect with the world beyond our world in this past life. And that's just a beautiful energy, pile number 3. So let me get one more card here for you. So who was pile 3 in their past life, spirit? And what were they like? Who was pile 3 in their past life, spirit? And what were they like? Thank you. So we have the snake card here, and it says, Kundalini rising. Channel your creative passion and sensuality. Welcome the transformation. Beautiful. Yeah, so pile 3, I really see you as being someone who was able to transform yourself and able to transform energies. Like I said before, you were this passionate person who loved life and who was very creative and very introspective. And, you know, I see you, you know, being able to transform energies and, like I said, connect with energies beyond the 3D. And so I think your spirit went through this transformation and this Kundalini rising, you know, where you gained this spiritual awareness. You see the picture of the snake here, and then there's this eye on the top of the card, you know, which represents your third eye. So your third eye was really opened in this past lifetime, and you had this Kundalini rising where you gained this amazing spiritual awareness and this amazing intuition and insight in your life. And, you know, it really transformed you. It really changed you. And it's an amazing card, pile number 3. And it really just sort of wraps up what I was seeing here, you know, and I feel like even, you know, like I said, you may have been someone that helped people, but you may also have been like an artist or someone very creative in this past life, because I see on this card, there's all these different colors and beautiful drawings and sort of paintings here, you know, so you may have been even a painter or a writer or an artist of some type, you know, as well. So there's really, you know, a few skills and abilities that you had here, pile number 3. So that's really wonderful. So I'm going to leave it there, pile 3. I hope you enjoyed the reading. If you did, please give me a big thumbs up below. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel so that you'll always be notified when I upload a new video. And I thank you guys so much for joining me here today. I wish you all love and light and fairy blessings, and I will see you next time. Bye.